Welcome to our second lesson, and in this lesson we are going to look at left hand basics. And the left hand is really the hand that is going to guide the guitar playing. A lot of players think that the right hand is really leading things because it's plucking or picking the notes, but it's really the left hand that is giving the musical ideas to the right hand. And so we want to pay special attention, even if you're a right-handed person, as I am, to our left-hand technique, but also what the left hand is doing, because it's really running the show, or at least running probably 80% of the show. So the first thing we want to mention with the left hand, and this obviously everyone's hand shapes and sizes are different, but for most people it's going to be helpful when we have somewhat of a large stretch with the guitar to bring the thumb down around to the back of the neck of the guitar, somewhat in parallel to the index finger, as you can see here. So when you have a big stretch like this, you want to bring your thumb down, and you can see that my thumb is down somewhat parallel to the index finger. There, it doesn't have to be exact, but it's really what is most comfortable for your particular hand shape. The other thing is when you have a big stretch in the guitar, instead of keeping your elbow out, you may bring your elbow in, and that also can help facilitate wider stretches or getting the tips of your finger on the guitar. So those are a few things. The last thing I'd like to mention about helping with wide stretches on the guitar is you also can raise the neck up higher. So you can do all of these things. You can bring your thumb down. You can bring your elbow in. I'm exaggerating it, but you can bring your elbow in here. And then you can raise the neck up higher on the guitar, even very high, and do all of those things so that you can get a really large stretch. Now, you're not always going to have such huge stretches in your guitar playing, but this is a very helpful technique to use. Now, another thing with the left hand that's sometimes overlooked is finding that sweet spot on the fretboard to fret or to play a note. And for most guitars, what I've found in my experience is it's right behind the fret metal, so right here. So this is, if you want to have a nice clean sound that doesn't have much buzzing, you want to play right behind that fret metal. If you play far away from it, which I'll demonstrate now, you're going to hear a lot of buzzing. So you may want that for some effects. You may want this kind of sound for some effect in a song, but most of the time you probably want this kind of clean tone that doesn't have a lot of rasp to it. So to get that cleaner tone, you want to play close to the just behind the fret metal, not far away from it. Not like that, but close. The other thing that is an important aspect for the left hand is playing on the fingertips. So and this is especially true for the finger numbers in the guitar. The index finger is finger number 1, middle finger is finger number 2, finger number 3 is the ring finger, and pinky is finger number 4. And the pinky is generally the weakest finger in some guitars. Even some of the greatest virtuoso guitarists try as best as they can to avoid the pinky. I think my own personal philosophy is let's try to use it as needed, because sometimes you can get some really great passage work in there if you can stretch with the fourth finger. And so, having said that, we should always try to play on the tips of the fingers like this, or if you see from this angle, on the tips here, because that's going to give us the most precise sound and a really positive sound, especially if you're playing, if you're playing electric or acoustic, whichever one you're going to have the most proficiency getting around the guitar in a clean way with the playing on the fingertips. And a few more things I want to mention, and a lot of these things are overlooked in even advanced players, is disengaging from the string. So, and this is especially true for people when they want to play really fast and high velocity playing. It's very important to coordinate both hands, but what's equally important is disengaging from the notes once you play them. So one thing you may want to do is just line up one finger per fret, like you could do 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, and just lift your fingers up and down just to try to get that feeling of the fingers going up and down. And you don't even need to make a note with sound with the notes, just to get that feeling in your hands of it going, the fingers going up and down, and especially feel the 4th finger and the 3rd finger going up and down. You can focus on those, or focus on like every other finger, like 4 and 2, or 3 and 1, or then you can do 1 and 4, just to feel that motion of disengaging from the string and engaging with the string. Well, that's about it for now. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next few lessons.